Previously on Austin After Midnight. What I would like to do is explore what exactly this blood plague, as we have now begun to call it, is. As we all know, the mortals are going through a health crisis. They are going through a pandemic. Again, it's kind of what they do. It seems that in the process of them making medications for this, they made certain blood types more caustic for us to ingest. So, we are to head to neutral territory, eh? Right? Because that is where the first blood bank was discovered.
Correct. I recommend that we wait until tomorrow.
Let's say that we meet at the Lion's Den, because it is the closest of the sanctuaries to the blood bank, at, what say you to 11 o'clock tomorrow night? Good evening. Welcome back to Austin After Midnight. In the last episode, we had court. The party, the characters, joined a task force to investigate the blood plague. It was determined that they would meet at the Lion's Den, the sanctuary for the Lenkaya et Sanctum in Austin, Texas. We begin with our characters arriving there. Nikki, what time are you wanting to get there? Because if you remember correctly, I believe we determined to meet at the den around between 11 o'clock and midnight.
10:45-ish.
Okay. So a chance to get some hangout time and maybe a drink or something?
Yes.
Whenever you get to the Lion's Den, you walk in and you notice that it's becoming a bit more lively. There are actual mortals here. Normally there aren't as many mortals as there are tonight, but since Austin is seemingly opening up, mortals are coming to all of the bars if they can. It may possibly even be that there is an event going on, but you're not entirely sure.
I'm going to walk in and try to casually squeeze my way to the bar without touching too many people.
It won't be that hard to do. So you get to the bar, and the barkeep walks up and kind of looks you up and down, kind of like curiously, and then he says, I haven't seen you in here before. Are you new to the area? Well, I mean, I'm kind of new, but I've been working here for like a month. Are you here for a drink or for the event or what?
Currently, I'm here for a drink. Didn't know there was an event going on tonight.
Yes, we didn't publicize the event near like we should have. We weren't expecting the mortals to be prepared as quickly as they were. Um, we were expecting only the boldest of them to show, but it seems like more of them have shown than what could be expected. With that being said, now, what kind of drink would you like? Pulse or still?
Still will be fine.
That sounds lovely. Would you like it in liquor form, wine form, or just plain blood?
Wine form, please.
He draws out a large bottle. Like, have you ever seen like the big bottles of Yellowtail?
Yes.
You know, he draws out one of those, and it is filled with this almost black liquid, and he pours it into a rather large glass, and he says, "If you're new here, the first one is on the house." And he hands it to you.
I'm not new. I'm just new to this specific location.
Well, if you're not new to Austin, that's fine. If you're new to the Den, it's still free. And this is one of our better vintages.
Well, thank you. Yes, I start to sip on it.
Okay, cool. So about this time, Bran shows up in his bird form. I assume he does the same thing he did last time he was here, where he goes out into the alleyway and transforms back into his more human form from bird.
Correct.
So you walk into the bar, and give me a perception roll. And the only reason why I'm giving you this one and didn't give this to Kelsey is because there's a lot of stimuli going on, especially for smelling and hearing. So your acute senses are like, woo!
Can I opt to fail?
Sure.
Yeah, I want him to fail.
So you come in and you just notice that there are several more people that here than there were previously. You can't tell who is mortal and who is not. And you walk up to the bar. It's a different barkeep. But whenever you do, you notice that Nikki is sitting at the other side of the bar.
Bryn has acute senses, so walking in with the massive change in lights and the sounds of everybody talking and everything, it's just overbearing for him, and he's really struggling to deal with it, especially after how long he's been asleep. So he's going to head straight over, and I mean, it's debilitatingly painful for him. He's gonna sit down next to her and just try to regain bearing and adjust. I mean, it's visible.
Okay.
So,
If you're wanting to do that, give me a wits plus resolve plus composure roll. Wanting to gauge to see how hard it is for you to be doing this.
I fail.
Did you roll a 1?
I rolled a 1. I have 10 in the stats base, but I rolled a 1.
I need you to roll me a resolve composure right now.
10.
10?
10.
Yeah, you're like on the verge of going into frenzy right now. It's so overwhelming. Like your predatory senses are being forced into overload to some extent. So how do we want to? How do you want to act that out? Because you're right next to Nikki. Nikki would probably immediately recognize that you are severely uncomfortable, almost angry. So you guys role play that out. Let's see what we have here. See what happens.
You okay? What do you need?
I don't know if I can be in here.
We can go wait outside if you need that.
Yeah, I think I need to get outside.
Okay. Then let's go. Outside, we can stand in the alley. Well, I'll watch. You can chill, and I'll try to wave people down before they come back in.
So you don't have to necessarily wait in the alley. There is a kind of an outdoor area on the other side of the den. So you guys can go out there and if you want, or you can go out back out into the parking lot. There isn't a door to the alley with access to you for you guys.
Colwyn, when we get outside, I'm gonna leave where we go up to her, and I'm just gonna follow her out. But when we get outside, I'm looking for rodents, anything like that. I want to know if I can see anything like that.
All right. So yeah, where do y'all want to go, to the parking lot, or do y'all want to go to the like den area?
I'm gonna guide us to the parking lot because part of me is concerned that if we just go in the outside area, it won't be enough distance.
You go out into the parking lot, and yes, you can take your drink with you. Don't worry about that. You move them out to the parking lot, and Trey, I need a wits composure roll for perception.
16.
16. Weirdly enough, there are no rodents around.
He's gonna just try to calm down then, best he can.
So, in order to do that, I need a resolve composure roll.
10.
10. Okay. You're a bit better off out here than you were inside. Out here, the main noise is traffic. You don't really get much of the social sound of the bar or of the restaurants or anything else that's in this strip mall. Bleh. So yeah, you're calming down. And about that time, you guys see a jet black, fully tinted windowed Hummer pull, like a classic Hummer, pull into the parking lot and park right next to the front door of the den. You then see what appears to be Victor open the door and step out. He's wearing all black. He's not in full combat gear yet, but he's pretty close to it. He hasn't seen you yet.
Stay here. I'm gonna go that way. See if I can catch him before he goes inside. I'm gonna head over to, not quickly, but casually start walking that way just to head him off before he goes inside.
He looks up and he spots you walking over. He's like, "Oh, I'm surprised to see you out here. I thought you would have been inside." Huh. Am I late or what?
No, we just had a bit of a sensory issue.
Oh, is Bran already here and having issues? That's who I assume would be the one having issues.
Yeah, we stepped out to not have a frenzy.
I truly appreciate that, especially given that we are having somewhat of a recruitment event at the den tonight. I'm going to run in, let them know that we are going to be heading on our mission soon, and just kind of reporting in. That a way that they can notify anybody else besides the bishop that need to know what's going on, that we're doing that. So stay out here for a few more minutes. Ask him if he's comfortable riding in the Hummer. I hope so. If he's not, then we're going to have to figure out a way for him to travel where he can still see us and meet us at the blood bank. Okay?
Will do.
Victor heads into the den.
I make my way back over so that I can kind of relay the information. Victor wanted me to ask if you're going to want to ride with us in the Hummer, or is that too much?
Is it dark and quiet?
It can be dark and quiet.
And put me in the wheeled box.
I can do that.
Thank you.
All right, so Victor comes out and sees you guys at the vehicle. The doors open, and you guys can get in. About that time, you guys hear a honk come up from behind you, and you see a dark blue Bentley pull up behind Victor's Hummer. And the windows roll down, and you all see Dave sitting in the driver's seat.
I wave as I get into the Hummer.
Victor walks over to the car door, to the driver's side door, leans over and says, "Oh, you got your own ride, huh? Or are you going to ride with us?"
I'm going to take my own ride. This has special accommodations for tonight.
He kind of looks in like this and is looking at it and goes, "All right, I can understand that." So the blood bank is a little bit further down. It's about 10 blocks away from here. He hands you what appears to be like a small GPS, like one of those Garmin's. He says it's already plugged in here. There's nowhere really nearby that has public Wi-Fi, which I wouldn't want you to do anyway. I assume you have your own, like, mobile hotspot kind of thing to where you can operate digitally and remotely.
Yes, don't worry about that. I've made all the arrangements.
All right, cool. So we're going to head over there. What is going to be your what's going to be your area? That way I can know how long it'll take for you to get to us if we need your help or if we need to help you.
So you said there was nothing really around for 2 miles, right?
That is correct.
So
Okay.
whatever's around 2 miles, I'm just gonna park my car inconspicuously some outside of like a restaurant or something like that, But before I go, I want to make sure everyone's wearing their earpieces.
So everybody's wearing their audio, and Victor actually shows you part of the GPS, Phil or Dave, that that there is a situation where he has a GoPro that is connected to that GPS, so you can watch from his shoulder cam. Anything that he sees, you'll get to see. Even though you might be hacking into the security feed, it might not necessarily show you everything that they see. You guys get in your vehicles, and the Hummer is literally as black as it could possibly be. You guys drive. It'll probably take you about 5 minutes to get there with traffic. Victor sets up the communal speech thing, the communal communication, and he says, "All right, here's the deal. This blood bank is a relatively new blood bank. It's only been in business for about 2 years. They dealt mostly with low income or college blood, and there is a small repository where they kept the blood. Otherwise, it is mostly the chairs that are still there, and it also doubled as a minor emergency clinic. And by that I mean it was a very small clinic. So be on your guard whenever we get there. The doors have been locked. The security system has been enabled. That is what Dave is here for. And that's all I can tell you, is that that's the only recon that we have on the place that was available to me from the other task force. I don't know how I feel about this. So, let's get there. And Dave, let me know when you are on location.
Roger that.
I would suggest, Dave, go probably... There's kind of like a field, like a farm road or a ranch road, that is about 1.5 miles away from the blood bank, because the blood bank is almost in Kyle. And there's a ranch road, or just kind of an old country road that you could park in out there and set up your hotspot from. I will say that you went ahead and scouted out locations that would probably be best for your hotspot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and
you did that.
also, before I go to where I'm parking my car, I want to just make just a drive-by of the blood bank and use Auspex on it.
Ooh, okay. So yeah.
Auspex 3, the Spirit's Touch. So a vampire can turn his beast senses on an object or place, uncovering secrets and destroying lies just as surely as if he had focused on a person.
Well, roll that Auspex.
2 successes, one of which 10 is called an exceptional success, right?
10 explodes. You can roll it again.
Oh, it explodes?
Yes.
Was that? Oh, I roll it twice?
Yeah. It's a critical.
With a success, I can ask the storyteller 1 question per success about the place or object. The beast conjures images to answer rather than just words. And that's what it does.
Well, I understand that. Go ahead and ask me your 3 questions. Or here, let's do it this way. Ask me your questions 3.
Is this place booby-trapped?
Is it booby-trapped? The answer is no. It is not booby-trapped.
Is there anyone inside?
No.
Are there any secrets hiding inside?
As far as you can tell, no, but that could be misleading. What you're kind of seeing is there are areas of the building that appear to have, like, shadows over them.
Shadows, okay.
Yeah, like inside the building. One of them is behind the front desk. There is a chair that seems to have a shadow over it in the main, like, clinic area, and then, or the main like blood reception area, and then there's a rather large shadow in the repository.
I can tell this from being outside because I was just doing a drive-by. I wasn't going in or anything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. You can use your Auspex to kind of do that, because you look more through physical appearance. It's almost like X-ray vision to some extent. Almost like X-ray vision.
And can I tell if that was from like a vampire's maybe office gate or something like that?
You can't really tell what it's from. There are Auspex abilities that can do that, but this one doesn't let you do that. It's just kind of like there's something strange here.
I'm going to tell or speak over my earpieces and say, be warned, guys. I sense something fishy inside. The chairs in the reception area, the front desk, and the repository. I'll try and get more information after I hack in.
Thanks for the heads up.
Victor chimes in saying, "Yeah, that is good news. We'll check out those areas before we do anything else. That way we can look at we can do the we know where the hot spots of the mystery might be. Man, it's good having a McHead on the case sometimes. Wonderful. All
I
right.
can also tell you there's no one inside, so no
Well,
one
that's
is
good
there.
news. There shouldn't be anybody inside. Okay. Well, he kind of looks over and checks his map and says, "We're 1 minute out. Are you on location, Dave?"
On location.
Very good. Start doing your magic, however you want to do it.
Dave presses a button in his car. His seat reclines, pushes back a little bit. Steering wheel goes in, flips over, gets replaced by a keyboard, and the entire front windshield monitors appear along the windshield. As well, the windshield, like all the windshields, they become heavily tinted so no one can see inside. And then also, I'm going to, just for good measure, use obfuscate 1. So that just basically, I turn my predatory aura inwards. So as long as I don't do anything to obviously draw attention myself, nobody notices me.
So, how do you want to go about getting into the security system and blah, 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 blah? Because the way that works is I'll need computer roles, but I need to know how you're going to be doing it. Whether you want to use intelligence, like do it just through common knowledge, or if you're going to go more clever, I need to know if you're going to use cleverness, because then that becomes a wit roll.
Okay, so what I would have done when I circled around the building is would have done like a scan, like just a quick scan of the network to see if I could start scanning for any vulnerabilities.
So the basic, run of the mill kind of test the defenses scan.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you find out that it has a pretty standard security system to it, and a subpar defense on its surveillance cameras. So it shouldn't be all that difficult to disable or hack into either of those. So I will need a computer roll for both of those. So one computer roll for each. And if you're using more common knowledge, use your intelligence. If you have academics with computers, you can also use your academic roll.
So I have computer hacking as a specific.
Then you get a +3.
+3 to that. Okay.
Yeah.
And do I add my intelligence to that too?
Yes.
Okay. So then I have 13 dots.
Okay, that's fair.
How many successes do I need?
Well, just roll it and we'll see.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow, that's not very lucky. 4 successes. 1 I get to roll again though. 5 successes.
All right. Is that on? And that's only for the one. So which one are you doing first?
The security cameras.
All right. So you have full access of the security cameras, from seeing what they've recorded to being able to move them around and record on your own. And even after that, you have access of where that data goes.
So I'm going to keep that connection and then also try and hack into the security system itself and disable it. Same roll?
Same roll.
So 7 successes, and I get to roll 3 of them again.
Goodness gracious.
Damn.
Can we call him here and just say he wins the game?
9 successes.
Holy shit.
Can we say he won the next game too?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you can do whatever the hell you want to with this security system. Like, you know everything about it. You even know, like, the last time there was a fly in this building.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna disable it for now.
So it's disabled, like completely disabled. I don't even know if I had anybody that was going against you that they could beat that. That's excellent. Cool. All right. So, Dave, I assume you notify the party that the systems are compromised and or down.
Security system's down, and I have visuals. Safe to proceed.
All right. So you guys arrive, and you guys get out of at the very back of the parking lot. That way, if you pull up to the very front of it, you don't show suspicion or anything. But you guys are at the very back of the parking lot, kind of looking like the car was left there overnight, kind of thing, just in case. And the three of you move toward the front door. Victor says he'll take point, and he pulls out a small pistol. You guys would have noticed while he was there, or while he was driving, he had put on what looks like a flak jacket, and which has a large spear attached to it. And then he draws a pistol out of his hip, or from his hip, and walks up to the door. What do the other two of you do? Bran and or Nikki?
I am going to follow close behind Victor just because that is my nature, to be in the middle of everything.
Deva. Anyway, yes. Bran, what are you doing?
Bran is going to he's gonna change form, and as he's coming out of the car, he's going to shift into a would look like a dog that maybe has been living off the streets, or some kind of wolf, something along those lines.
Victor walks up and he kind of holds up a fist to tell you to stop moving, And then if you guys do, he reaches over and he pulls open the clinic door and kind of beckons both of you to move in, and that he would cover you. So do you?
Yes.
Yes.
So, upon entering the clinic, you have what looks like to be your kind of standard waiting area. There are chairs on both left and right hand sides. The restrooms are off to your left from the front door. About 20 feet behind the front desk is about a chest high or a 4-foot high wall that you can see is where they would have taken the blood. Like, there's the whole area of there. Like, there's probably 40 chairs in this one building that they could have taken blood from. On the other side of that is what appears to be the small clinic that Victor told you guys about. And you know that is on the other side of that is where the repository is for all of the blood. Where do you guys want to go from there?
I want to try and check out those mystery spots that were brought to our attention. Just out of nosiness, migrating towards the front desk first, since that was the bigger spot of mystery.
Okay. So you go over to the front desk. You can get behind it. Give me a wits plus investigation roll.
Is there such a thing as assisting in the system?
There is, but you have to be there in order to do so.
Well,
You have to be present in order to do it.
Can I move my cameras, zoom in, that sort of thing, or?
Okay, yeah, sure, you could do that.
So if I'm assisting, how does that work?
Well, you have to have I think at least 2 dots in the skill.
Oh yeah, I have investigation forensics. Not sure if that helps more, but 5 dots.
Oh yeah, that'll totally help. Yeah.
So then 8 dots.
So Kelsey, you'll actually get another +3 to whatever you roll here. Not necessarily an additional like die roll, but I will give you a +3 to whatever your rolls are.
This is my day.
Damn. Okay. So yeah, you go over there, and you know you're more taken aback by what isn't there than what actually is, because everything seems to be in its place. It seemed that whenever the other task force came through, they didn't mess with any of the paperwork or anything. They just kind of left it the way it was.
Everything here is way too neat, y'all.
Victor is like, what do you mean everything is too neat? Huh?
Like, nothing is out of place. Even in a day-to-day clinic, you don't have a clean desk at the end of the day where nothing is out of place.
Okay, yeah, that is a little bit suspicious. Keep looking. Bran, can you come over here and smell this chair for me?
I'll walk over to the chair and just go.
So that means I need you to give me a perception roll, and since you are in canine form, you also get a +3 to your senses.
Oh. How does 21 sound?
21 sounds very, very good. You have never smelled anything like this in your entire existence. It smells almost like you know what it smells like. I don't know if you've ever been around it. Right before it snows, that almost wet, humid, but freezing smell. It kind of even makes your nose burn a little bit to smell it.
Alcohol?
I mean, if you want to say it, you can. You can call it like that.
Well, I can't say anything right now.
I know, but you can think that it could be that kind of smell, sure.
Okay. Well, I did what I was asked, so I'm going to now walk around him 3 times, sit at his feet facing away from him, and then lean back and look at him.
He kind of hang on. He kind of looks at you and he goes, "Oh, you're doing the police dog routine, huh? Okay.
Tails wagging.
So you smell something there. All right.
Nods.
That I guess is good, but you can't tell me what it smells like."
Shakes head back and forth.
Okay. Damn it. He kind of leans down and begins to kind of touch the area that you were smelling. He doesn't really, and he puts it up to his nose. He doesn't really get anything off of it himself.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of note that he seems to have a film or something on his finger, or that you can smell it on his finger. So what are you going to do now?
So as you point out the filmy thing, I do that dog thing where my head tilts, my ears kind of go up a little bit.
Okay. You know? He looks at you and is like, "Okay, what are you trying to tell me here? What's going on?"
He's talking to me. My ears go back down and my tail starts wagging.
Dogs.
Hasn't pet me yet. I'm now going to be aggressive and start nudging a hand. I'm a good boy. I did what I was supposed to do.
He pats you on the head, and the last one's kind of more of a tap than a pat.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're being annoying a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, "All right, Nikki, you stay here and investigate that front desk. The bitch and I'll go to the other room, the repository."
That sounds like a fair trade.
I assume Bran still follows him.
Yes, begrudgingly.
Okay.
Half
Yes.
defeated.
All right. So Kelsey, give me another roll.
The same roll?
Another investigation roll. The same roll. With a +3 from Phil, or from Dave rather. And you need a 7 to succeed.
Okay. I got a 7, 8, 2 10s, and a 9.
Wow, okay. Roll those 2 10s again.
A 1 and a 9.
A 1 and a 9.
6 successes.
Okay. Wow. Nice. All right. So you happen to find a book that has very strange writings on its cover, like on its spine. They look kind of occultish. And it's the only thing that's really odd in the whole situation. Everything else is kind of like, your typical manifests that would be expected in a blood bank. Like, laws, bylaws, rules, regulations, all that kind of stuff. It's just the only thing that's out of place.
Okay, I'm gonna pick it up and start flipping through it.
All right. You pick it up and you start kind of flipping through it, and it's in different languages. All of them seem to be in like languages from other cultures. Some of them seem to be written in things besides ink. One of them looks to be almost written in mud or dirt. A couple of them seem to have been written in blood. You can't tell if it's human or animal. But this looks like it is some type of occult book, like I said before. Possibly some type of tome of some kind. You don't find anything written in English. The closest thing that you see that could be English would be Latin.
And I found this at the end of my search of the desk, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not putting it back. I'm gonna carry it around with me until I catch back up to Victor to show him the book.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you want to do that now, you can.
Sure. They're in the
Okay.
back room, right?
Yeah, they're heading toward the repository. So, Bran, once we get to the repository, you start to smell, like, just automatically, kind of that sense inside the repository. It's almost like it's permeating that area, but it's coming from a specific spot, kind of in the back corner next to one of the coolers for the blood.
Because I believe that currently, apparently, I have to be a bit more sassy about it. I'm gonna hardcore bloodhound it out for him.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna sit on top of it so he can't actually open it.
Okay, well, I mean, it's okay. Yeah, so you go over there and you sit down right next to it, and he kind of moves over, and he is like, "All right, what's over here?"
Points at it.
It's like, "Can you move so I can open it, please?"
Moves out of the way. Takes
Okay.
his sweet time moving out of the way.
So he leans down and he pops it open. And he pulls it open. Inside, he's like, "What in the world is this? This isn't blood. This doesn't even look like plasma. What could this be? I don't understand what any of this." And you notice that he pulls out 2 or 3 different blood bags, what you would recognize as being blood bags. Even you, Bran, have seen these before recently.
Okay.
but they are filled with different types of liquids. And he goes, "What in the world is this?" We go back to Dave. You hear a kind of a loud buzzing or humming coming from it's a kind of a buzz and a hum coming above your car, like happening above your car.
I presume I have like a camera of some sort where I could look.
Yes. Yeah, you do.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a look at that camera.
So you have a camera that looks directly up, like in kind of your surrounding. It's kind of like a 360 camera that you can record weather and stuff like that with. And it looks up, and you see a fairly large drone flying about 50 feet above your car. You see something protruding from the bottom of it.
Can I tell
And yeah, something shoots out of it, and you hear something thump on your car,
Oh,
like the hood.
okay.
And your sensors and your screens and stuff start flickering violently.
Well, that's not good. Uh, hmm. But there's
The
still
doors lock on your car. If they weren't already, like they lock down again.
okay.
They're not powering down. It's just becoming more like a chaotic flashing of lights and everything, and then it stops, and your screens are kind of back to normal.
Okay.
And
But
then it
this
says, and then you notice on your at the bottom of your screen, like the bottom right hand of your screen, like where you would be on where you would look at your clock or something. You would watch you watch the time, like it's digitally flickering, and then it all turns to sevens, and your entire system shuts down.